Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday night, and that means it's time for the Rewind Gaming 2v2 Showdown. I'm Digital Bacon, and tonight I'm joined by the ever-awesome Switchblade Jay. How are you doing there, Jay?
I can't get a better compliments, can I? I'm awesome, apparently. Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. It's great to be here. Been taking a little bit of time off, actually, just to kind of keep up with all the big scene stuff. But, after watching the, the DreamHack Leipzig tournament, that was absolutely hype. I want to get back into doing the Rocket League stuff. So, yeah, my first 2v2 tournament, and I'm pretty hyped to be here, actually. It's going to be real fun, real fun.
Glad to hear, and we have got a great game to start us off. We're going to be seeing Final Art go against GC Airlines. That is Sakaku and Psycho. Psycho being the one to watch out here. They're going up against GC Airlines, which is Cypher and Subdivides. Definitely excited for this. And Jay, you were saying this is your first 2v2, cast. What are you going to be looking out here, buddy? And you guys at home, if you're used to watching the 3v3s like at DreamHack, and just having a look at a 2v2 tournament for the first time, the spacing, that is what is so key and crucial in 2v2s, because you don't have that third man back. So you've got to worry about that defense as well as trying to build up the attack. It's a completely different game mode, and it's the subtleties which make it awesome. But Jay, are you ready to get on into this match, buddy?
Yeah, I'm very hyped to do it. And, 2v2 is obviously such a massively fundamental change to the way that Rocket League works. Like you say, not having that third man in. Going to be pretty excited to see how these guys do with that regard. I'm kind of want to see exactly like how they work around in general with their team play, because like having that third man who could be so crucial to a three-man setup. Obviously, you can't do a three-man setup in a 2 versus 2. So we will see. We're just getting the players inside the server right now. It's Final Art in the blue and GC Airlines over in the orange. We're ready to kick things off. This is going to be game one in our best of 3, right up to the finals where we will have best of 5. So here we go. Psycho, Cypher, Sakaku, and Subdivides all kicking off straight in with Subdivides getting off the first kickoff. Psycho will look for early control and will try for his first one-man dribble. Try to touch it in, and there it is. Fakes out the entire defensive. You can't get any better than that within 10 seconds.
Well, Psycho's just broken the cherry of tonight's Rewind tournament, and what a way to do it straight off that wall up into the air. Gracefully glides on down. That is just a master class of control, and, well, this is why pointing them out is the one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, again, it talks about that team play element. A lot more solo style has to pretty come through in a 2 versus 2 style of game. So I'm expecting a lot more of that out of these guys, but we'll see how they'll apply pressure here in this team scenario. Sakaku is already having some sort of control, gets it past one defender, and now challenging up against Cypher. There's no way he'll be able to score this. Not quite. Cypher will rotate just about in time to get the save and get it right back out to the blue side of the pitch with Subdivides also there to receive it past the first man. Sakaku is there for the defensive, and will have no problems trying to get it right back out of the way into the center and to the control of Cypher himself.
Yeah, I liked what Cypher was doing there earlier. Just saw pressure in the plays, going for that demo attempt. He's got to be careful, though, because where he wasn't getting that, he was basically being useless in the situation. He's hassling his opponents, but the problem is he's throwing himself out of position, Jay.
Long-range shots coming in from the boys from Final Art. No problems in rotation. Cypher's got that one on point, but for the CG Airlines side, they do need to have a little think about potentially trying to see if they can score another goal here. Cypher out towards this corner, challenging alongside Subdivides, gets it past one, backboard touch, Sakaku trying to get it in, not quite as powerful as it is in this meta, but it doesn't matter because it does not amount to a shot. The angle not quite sitting right for Final Art, but Psycho still got some great ball control and almost pops it in the back, just about defended by Cypher, but Sakaku is still here with control.
Yeah, control is the name of the game here. You're going to see a lot more dribble plays coming on out as team plays are a little bit more risky. You don't want to overextend 2 players. As I say that, the dribble comes out.
Perfectly done from Sakaku right there with passing play coming in. Psycho with early control. You couldn't have gotten probably better than that in a 2 versus 2 scenario. Like Subdivides was completely thrown for a loop, and that really is the 2-0 that Final Art would have really needed to take control of this particular match this early.
Definitely a big lead so far. Remember, this is the quarterfinals. These lads already played through a game each. They should be warmed up now. They should know their opponents as well. These guys are all regulars here at Rewind, so they know each other's stars. They just got to make sure not to make any mistakes which the other team can pick up on.
starting to see a couple of mistakes coming in from Subdivides. Tried to challenge against Sakaku earlier on, but seems like they're gaining control of this whole situation. Trying to get some sort of ball control out towards the net, which is open for the most part, but Sakaku will come ahead and rotate, go around the town, take the ball right back to the other side of the corner. They do demo Psycho for a little bit, so Sakaku will be alone, but his individual ball control is absolutely amazing, and will get 3-0 with the earlier dribble. That's 2:37 on the clock and a significant lead for Final Art.
Yep, Psycho definitely was the star player for a little while, but Sakaku wants to live up to that name as well. These two are teammates, and you can see that they are very evenly matched, well deserved to play with each other here. Sakaku, fantastic goal there.
Oh, but look at Psycho, he's already coming out with one more, trying to one-up his own teammate at this point here. Cypher will get some sort of control, ball control. Actually, this ball's in a very risky spot thanks to Sakaku's efforts, but fortunately, Psycho is on rotation, so the team play from Final Art is definitely looking solid when you compare it to what CG Airlines are currently putting into favor. 50-50 challenges that aren't quite working out for them, and redirections coming in from the Final Art side. I mean, there's going to be 4-0 so far. 2 goals scored per player, and a significant lead above CG Airlines.
Biggest point to point out here is just the intent, the purpose of hitting the ball there. Psycho putting it above goal, not actually going for the shot, but purposely putting it there to throw the defender through the loop, make them come out, and then he can get the follow-up hit, put it in the back of the net. This is a real dominating performance from Psycho and Sakaku.
Can't quite establish their dominance here, CG Airlines for Final Art. Will have absolutely no problems taking this lead. I think at this point this game may already be done. There's a lot of work to do in 2 minutes if you are CG Airlines, and they just don't seem to have the same sort of presence over the map that the boys in blue seem to have of their own accord, and you can even see it right now, just aggression and pressure being applied out towards that corner. Psycho and Sakaku just able to defend anything that Subdivides and Cypher can really, you know, throw at them at this point. And redirection attempt coming in from Cypher, but it's challenged 50-50, so once again, Final Art just denying every little bit of control that GC Airlines really need to kind of put this comeback into gear. So 1 minute 20 on the clock, Psycho going in for redirection is challenged eventually by CG Airlines players, but again, nothing will amount to a goal here for the orange side of the pitch.
Yeah, the difference here is going to be that speed as well as the connection between the two. Sakaku and Psycho have been fantastic with linking up each other. Cypher there, this is the connection I'm talking about. Just the hit was too weak. His teammate was at the other end of the net. It was never going to reach. And they've just got to work on that. It's all about the chemistry, Jay.
50 seconds to try and fix it. A very risky touch actually from Sakaku does allow Cypher a good shot. But at the same time, that's only one with 45 seconds left on the clock to really find an awkward touch. And really, you can see it right there, only up to 90. 1 goal for 4, still Final Art are in the lead, and CG Airlines only have a little bit of time to try and make this comeback work.
Jay, the point here is they don't have to worry about the comeback. I think it's a little bit too gone from CG Airlines in this game. Ooh, nice defense there as well, good attempt. But it's going to be about turning that around. Make sure that Final Art don't get goals. And actually, if GC Airlines can get another goal, that might just give them the morale to go into that second game the stronger and maybe go for the reverse sweep.
Would have to be a reverse sweep at this point because 17 seconds left. I think we all know who's won this one. Final Art not only outplaying but outskilling the GC Airlines side of things. A very impressive showing from them so far in this first game. Going into the second game, of course, one more goal could put GC Airlines at least in a bit more of a better mental state, and this backdoor touch may amount to it. Subdivides trying his best, but his touches just aren't quite as good as the boys from Final Art. As they do take game number 1 out of 3 here, it will have to be the reverse sweep coming in from GC Airlines to have even a moment of a chance here.
Yeah, but it's just going to come down to that speed from GC Airlines when they're moving together up the pitch really fast. They're able to do it. The problem is it's getting back into the fence. They're not as quick. Final Art, I want to just point that out. Whenever the ball is cleared down their end, they're moving faster than the attackers. I don't know how it's possible. It's the combination of the boost and the front flips most likely, but just being able to beat your opponent to the ball is a good way about getting there first and making the saves. And you know what, Jay? A good way to get the prize pool up is to head on over to Match Arena. That is where tonight's prize pool is all funded from. Remember, this is a community tournament. So every dollar, every cent that these players are working towards is funded by you guys and your amazing support there at home. So if you're feeling generous, make sure to hit that link up in chat and donate even $1. That's, a little bit to ask from you.
I was wondering who was going to drop that first, but hey, Bacon, well done. Of course, many other ways you can support that we will, of course, be getting through throughout the rest of the night. But for the time being, we're ready to get into game number 2 here of the best of 3 between GC Airlines and Final Art here. Once again, Final Art with a very impressive and dominating performance in that first game. We'll go straight into game number 2 with a lot of momentum. Cypher and Subdivides need to find something to pull out of the hat to try and find something against the Final Art side. It's Sakaku with control earlier on with Cypher providing it off that first kickoff. Now aerial dribble getting the redirect away from Cypher. Fortunately, Subdivides does get the defensive back together with a nice shot that could have gone far, but Sakaku's in position, and as a result, it's really no problem here for Final Art as they gain control. Sakaku past the first defender, not past the second though. Cypher gets it right back away. Psycho with a backboard touch redirection coming in, not quite going to find it there. So opening 30 seconds will not come to a goal here for Final Art.
No, and it's looking rather worrying for even both sides. When they're hitting the ball, they'll overextend it, and then even there, you just saw a few whiffs coming out, maybe a little bit shaky. If it's coming out from Final Art, well, the GC Airlines side have to be quite, happy about that. They're not the only team that are making mistakes. It could just be that little glimmer of hope they need to go forward, Jay.
Desperately trying to get some ball control though, and that's really what GC Airlines have been struggling with so far. You see they just get 50-50 challenges and shots that don't really amount to the angle that they wanted to hit them at. And look at Psycho, oh, he's about to do this, isn't he? Almost got there in time. Cypher will be there for control, getting it right back away, but it's still inside the danger box. So Sakaku could get a nice redirection. Doesn't quite land where he wanted it to, off the post, but Psycho's also there applying pressure. And Subdivides will have control of this ball for the most part, challenged eventually by Psycho, who puts it out towards the midline, too far to the left-hand field. And Cypher will center it up for Subdivides to get it right back out of the action. But again, Sakaku and Psycho are both out towards this corner. They redirect twice, get it right back into the orange side. And GC Airlines just unable to deal with the pressure that's really being applied by Final Art.
Yeah, what they need to start doing here, Jay, is look for those openings. You've seen it time and time again. When they hit the ball, it's towards their opponents. If the ball's moving towards you and you're moving towards the ball, you're going to get there first. No doubt in Rocket League because of momentum and speed. They've got to work out. That's a nice little hit there. But again, going straight to Psycho.
And those demos not quite working out for GC Airlines as well. You've got to be able to try and take some manner of control, and they're just not being able to do so. Ball once again back in the control of Psycho, feeds it up to Sakaku. Great passing play, great teamwork from Final Art. Hasn't amounted to a goal just yet. Still 0 for 0 here with a little over halfway of the match left to go. 50-50 challenges won out by Subdivides out towards the corner. Psycho's looking for control, and Sakaku's just going to allow him to get there. Passing play, redirection, Cypher. We'll get it right back out towards the corner, but Psycho's still here, and he will gain control. Sakaku also with control. Nice redirection, touches it second time. But it goes straight into Cypher and not into the back of the net where they really would have wanted it to go. And as a result, he has control, and he will try and feed it right up in towards this net. One more touch, second chance, not going to happen, and Sakaku is there to take control.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a massive change between the first game and this, where the players now, they're looking to spread out a bit, make sure they've got a man back in defense. In that first game, we saw those team plays coming up. It was a lot more aggressive, which was pushing the defense a lot more. Here, they just got to start maybe throwing in a risk or two and just get those passing plays working again.
1 minute 50. Still left on the clock. We're still 0 for 0, but this goal may be about to apply a lot of pressure to the GC Airlines side. Finally, Psycho finds the gap. The one small mistake that GC Airlines made, overextending a little bit, and no defensive was there to defend that shot. That's 1-0 to Final Art, and suddenly GC Airlines have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, but a little bit of a lapse in decision-making. It happens. Now we might see the floodgates just open on wide. Cypher's definitely putting on a good case of that, but unfortunately the positioning of the ball there not right. Yeah, and that's an overextension, but well recovered by Cypher. Jay, they've got to be careful going forward about just sending too many men forward, don't they, this GC Airlines side?
Yeah, and they're proving that point right here. Final Art have the one up on them against them, like, in terms of skill, in terms of just general mechanical play. You can definitely feel that Final Art are bringing the fight to GC Airlines, and GC Airlines haven't got a response. 2-0 thanks to the pressure being applied on that orange box. And as a result, Final Art are 2-0 up with 1 minute and 20 left to go. Cypher and Subdivided have quite the task ahead of them now. That's a great amount of ball control, trying to get it past the second Psycho, and a bit of a lapse in his own performance right there, 2-1. And just like that, GC Airlines may be back in the game.
I like this from Cypher, the bumping, the sort of bouncing of the ball, juggling it up and down, puts over one player, and then where he's going for behind the defender is so much harder to reach because he had that momentum going across. He couldn't slow down and get back in time. It was good positioning of that from...
Oh. Never mind, actually. I was going to say that was a close one, but nope, Psycho just scores the third. And GC Airlines are once again back to a 2-goal deficit against their opponents. This is just not looking good for them at all right now. Every single time they have a response, every time they try and chime back against the Final Art side, they just get shut down instantaneously right here. So one more kickoff, 60 seconds left to go. If the Final Art side do score one more here, oh my God, Sakaku, this is just extra salt in the wound. 4-1, I think Final Art have won this one. 3 goals to score in 60 seconds. It looks like a less than likely task here.
Yep, standard kickoff goal for you there. And it's all down to the fact that GC Airlines have to go out, all out in aggression. You know, when you've got to get 2 goals in the last minute, you just got to go super aggressive. The problem there is that your defense just lacks a little bit. And he's hurt them here, Jay.
50 seconds left. A good demo from Psycho. Opens up a nice big hole in the defensive, and you know that's exactly what I'm expecting from Final Art at this point. Nice, clinical, crisp, clean. And a 5th to be added to that blue side score counter. And you know, as we just go, it just starts to get worse and worse for GC Airlines. It's like, how long do we have to keep going on for this? So when are we going to find our way back out? Less than likely that they will find a way out at this point in time. More than likely that they will just fall 2-0 to the hands of Final Arts, who look to make their way into the semis. With 40 seconds left on this matchup, anything can happen yet. Sakaku may even score an own goal, just about gets it past on the corner. But once again, the overextension is about to hurt GC Airlines. Psycho doesn't quite get the ball control that he wanted to, but will touch it in, trying to look for that second touch. Pinch comes through from the GC Airlines side, but it's all just one last gasp from these guys. 4 goals to find, 20 seconds to do it. I think that's mathematically impossible to find. And as Psycho scores his hat-trick, Final Art will score their 6th. That's 2 hat-tricks on both players here for this side. This game is pretty much done.
Pretty much done, but what isn't done just yet is the Brazil. We might be able to see it there, chat. It's horrible, don't get me wrong, for GC Airlines, but everyone likes to see a good Brazil every now and then. And what way to do it than in the first game on stream tonight?
Oh, like no! Oh, come on, guys! Brazil, Brazil, welcome to the server, Brazil. Oh, Jesus. I apologize, GC Airlines, but like, come on, what was that? Like, yeah, that's unfortunate. That's just very, very unfortunate. But 7-1, 2-0 in the series. Sakaku looks to make it 8. Why not at this point? Just why not?
Well, these lads are so quick off the kickoff, and you can see it. Cypher and Subdivide, they're just a bit deflated now. The kickoff's definitely going in Psycho and Sakaku's favor, and it's all down to that good initial hit into the ball. Kickoffs, they are so calculated. These players practice them time and time again. And this is why, if you can do them just right, you get what seems to be an easy goal, Jay.
Easy goals, easy life for the Final Art side as they go 2-0 up, outplaying and outshining, I think, the opposing side of GC Airlines. I mean, what a showing that was! Like 2 very one-sided games. It was a very, very poor showing from the GC Airlines side.
The problem is, Jay, I want to sort of contradict you there in the sense of just towards the end of that first game and the start, maybe the first 2 minutes of that second game, they were playing at the same level. But the difference is, I feel it's more Final Art sort of held back a little bit, didn't they? They weren't putting on all the burners like they did towards the end of this game and the start of that first game. So GC Airlines, maybe next time, but they've just got to work on that sort of team chemistry together.
Team chemistry, something that they need to take a look at, and definitely take a look at this demo and figure out exactly what went wrong for them, because there was quite a ton. But for now, it will be Final Art going up ahead to face Whoops in the semi-final, so do not go anywhere. That match is next on Rewind Gaming.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're through to the first of the two semi-finals here on Rewind Gaming with the 2v2 showdown. Of course, back at it again. It's me, DigiB, and I'm joined by Jay. And Jay, that was a good last match. It's a nice little settler into this evening, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, it was a good match, but did you just call yourself DigiB? Like, for real, dude? Are you for real?
Look, it's not like it's literally becoming a meme on my own channel, and I've just got to deal with it. And you know, the best way to handle memes is just to accept them. You don't fight the memes, Jay. You embrace the memes. You give them a little cuddle. You know.
Who calls you DigiB?
It's so cringe, I know.
Oh my god. Oh my god, right.
Earlier as well. But
Jesus.
anyways, right. Reset yourself.
Yeah, let's reset ourselves. Let's get into this one. Breaking. We've got Whoops versus Final Art. We've already seen Final Art in the quarters, but let's talk about Whoops here. What are we going to expect out of these guys?
Whoops, of course, Imagine, and I'm going to say Exitum. He's got that eye in it, but these two lads are top 100 players. This is just an average old week for Rewind, of course, so nothing really to shout about that. But Imagine is the lad I want to just draw attention to. He's going to be the one that you've got to watch out for, because when it comes to the air, he can just be, you know, I want to think, I don't think he's going to be using the Batmobile today, but just imagine that sort of like Batman swooping on in to hit the ball and get it on down to the goal. It's that sort of deal you've got to look out for, Jay.
Yeah, I think Imagine, if I remember correctly, was competing at DreamHack Leipzig. I remember him. I've obviously, Imagine's been around for a very long time. You know, we've seen him in a lot of the weekly cups. If my memory serves me correctly, I'm just trying to remember what the team it was. It was either Rocketeers or Veritas. I think it may have been Rocketeers where he was competing with ELMP and Mask. That would make the most amount of sense. I think that's where he was. But don't quote me on that because I don't actually have the verification. But you know, obviously he's had a lot of experience throughout the scene. Obviously he's a good player, like you said, top 100 in the whole in the whole game. So you know, seeing him perform, I imagine that he may be like out, just feeling like, just in terms of like every single player's individual achievements, probably the strongest player in the server at the moment. So I'm expecting to see some really big things from him. Obviously, Sakaku and Psycho have got their own individual just prowess in terms of mechanical play, you know, like aerial dribbles and just general amazing ball control to get it past and above the defensive of their opponents. So will they be able to go toe-to-toe with a player that's had at least a little bit of LAN experience?
Well, only time will tell. We've got to let these players get on to the pitch and, you know, let us see what they've got. But just before we get started, a big shout out there to Coach Duality for not only subbing, gifting a sub, but he also donated $5 on into the prize pool. So there we go. We've got a base amount set. Guys, if you want to donate even more, and let's raise it on up, hit the link in chat now, !Matt Torino. But without further ado, we are underway.
Yeah, it's Whoops in the blue, Final Art in the orange, into kickoff of game number 1 of 3, and Imagine is already showing his prowess straight off the wall into the back of the net. That's 1-0 to the favour of Whoops.
All right, well, that's 2 in a row where I've called out the player looked for and they got it in the first few seconds. I'm quite impressed by that. Definitely living up as an analyst. But just straight up kickoffs, we've been seeing them a lot today, Jay, and it's why you've got to fear them, especially in twos where you don't always have that man waiting back in goal.
And as well as that, the defensive is pretty solid of their own accord, managing, or at least that their ball control is pretty solid. Exitum keeping ball control away from Final Art to try and fit it out to Imagine, giving his star player room to breathe. A fantastic support as we're seeing just so far in the early 30 seconds of the game right here. Imagine, once again, redirecting it back through. It will be followed up by another. Exitum is trying to gain control above these players. Sakaku with great ball control, trying to see if he can feed it past Imagine, just about gets there in time, but it might not be. The counter-attack coming from Psycho off the crossbar. Third touch from Sakaku, and this time their own attacks and their own sort of ball placement and control isn't quite working out to the way that Final Art would have wanted it to.
Yeah, Final Art going to be kicking themselves there, all down to the accuracy, and it shows how important it is. Every little opportunity they had, and they had 3 of them, was just snuffed on out, and it's not even their opponents really getting in the way because they could have worked around them. That is just the level here between Grand Champs and then those top 100s.
Small risk coming in from Whoops, overextended, and I thought for a second that was Final Art going to be scoring the equalizer, but in this case, it was Sakaku that didn't have the exact shot that he would have wanted to, goes too far to the left field, hitting the post instead of the back of the net. So in this case, it is, well, still 1-0 to Whoops right here, maintaining ball control, ensuring that the Final Art side do not gain dominance over them, and the 50-50 challenges are proving their point right here. Sakaku trying to gain some ball control, but he isn't set up to deal with it. Imagine will be the man of the challenge. Exiton is also trying to gain some sort of boost out towards the orange side of the pitch, denies the shot and the setup to come through from Final Art. Imagine with the demo on Psycho, and that's not looking good, but fortunately the redirection just about coming through from Sakaku, just in time to get Psycho back in the server, back to set up the defensive. We're just coming in off the basis of the attack from Whoops, and indeed, it works out to their favor.
Yep, you can see it. These two teams are very evenly matched. Unfortunately, a whiff coming out there, but ball, once again, accuracy just hurting the Final Art side as that went wide.
Not this time though, Psycho
Yeah,
able to catch the ball off and managed to score that opener. So there we are, Final Art do score the 1-1 scoreline just before we hit the halfway point as well. So a lot of that pressure that would have been on them if they had kept this past that 2-minute, 1-minute mark is now suddenly gone, and Final Art can kind of take these things a little bit easier now. Try to see if they can feel out Whoops, find their gap in the defense and manage to maybe score a 1-up above them.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's that just team chemistry of the Final Art lads seems to keep them in control, keep that little bit more pressure going now. But Exiton and Imagine, if they just turn up the heat, crank that knob to 11, expect them to just suddenly burst on through. Now, I imagine it's going to be in solo plays. Just keep watching.
Shot to come through from Imagine. Too far at the other side though, so Exiton can't quite take control, but great redirection to come through from Sakaku. Not quite, because Imagine does challenge it. Psycho trying to keep that ball in contention. It's out towards the corner this time. Exiton and Imagine feeling it in between each other, trying to get that pressure reapplied here against this orange side of the pitch. Sakaku will not allow that to happen though, applies his own pressure coming up towards the box. Psycho's a little bit too far out, but still manages to maintain ball control for the Final Art side. It does eventually go back in towards that corner, and Sakaku is quick to respond to it. Challenged up by Exiton out towards the center, trying to feed it up for Imagine. It's denied by Psycho and denied by Sakaku, who get it right back into the blue side of the pitch. So while Whoops do have the superior manpower and general sort of talent in this server right now, they are struggling against Final Art, who are keeping the ball well and truly away from their side.
Yeah, it's just all about the patience here for the Final Art ATR lads. They're just waiting for their opponents to make the move, and then they close it on down. Being very clinical, and it's the right way to do it. Just got to keep this pressure up. Bit of a lapse now, but Imagine couldn't get on the end of it.
Imagine feeding this ball around as well. 1 minute left to go on the clock. Exiton will come in from the other side as well, try and challenge against Sakaku, but once again that ball goes right back into that corner. Both players are here this time, so no opportunities will be opened up by the Final Art side. Still got a lot of work to do on the Whip side though. Again, ball control hasn't been sitting pretty to them. They are able to challenge appropriately and get the defensive together, and that's really the reason why Final Art have not been able to score. But finally, Exiton finds a small overextension from Final Art and managed to turn to 2-1. So he puts it right in the back, and suddenly the pressure is on.
That is it, the small little opening that was needed. And earlier on, we've seen Final Art using great use of that 2v2 space, keeping that pressure by hitting the ball against the backboard, trying to wait for an opening of their own. Nearly there again. Problem is that they're either just waiting too long, or you see it there where they just overextend a little bit too far, and it hurts them.
Exiton. Nice ball control. Just watch this. You couldn't get more better than that. I was saying in the last game that Sakaku and Psycho had their own individual ball control, but like Exiton just comes up and shows them up hard time. So 30 seconds, 3-1 down. Unless you want to see Final Art pull a PSG off and reverse sweep this scoreline back into 3-3 to go to overtime, it's less than likely at this point in time. Not enough, opportunities available to them as that last challenge comes through. Imagine trying to redirect it back away. Doesn't look likely that Final Art will be able to score these next 2 goals. We'll try feed it up. no chances are available to them. So Whoops will take game number 1. It's a little bit shaky in that mid part of the game, but eventually they were able to wrap up 2 nice goals and take the first game to their favor.
Yeah, Whoops coming in as the highest seed. Actually, the number 1 seed here tonight, taking the game 3-1. You can almost say it's following the script, but final art. Jay, I like what they're doing. They are going head to head. They've just got to be careful of those little lapses in judgment, don't they? And it is all about the veterancy that Whoops have, which is they've just learned from the experience.
Yeah, I was saying, imagine being at the DreamHack event. I did actually confirm that he was playing on Rocketeers, so I'm really happy that my memory has served me well. Yeah, no, that experience is very, very valuable in a game like Rocket League, because you can have all the mechanical skill, but you'll never really know how you can get the edge on your opponents unless you play those that are better than you. So imagine bringing that to his team is just, an even better opportunity and an even better advantage above the likes of Final Art, who haven't necessarily had that experience. So lots of opportunities available for them in the next game. It was a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. I thought that Final Art did hold a bit of a fight, so maybe game 2 could go a little bit better for them. We're about to find out.
Yep, as the players, without waiting a moment, they're just going to hop onto their sides. Imagine Exetum looking to take this as 2-0, but Final Art, Psycho, and Sakaku, they do have the opportunity to reverse sweep here. They've just got to make sure they don't make those little laps in judgment and leave an opening for Exetum, or Imagine to quickly pop a shot off.
Oh, perfectly done from Psycho. Oh, watch this play one more time here from Final Art. Sakaku sets it up off the backboard, and Exetum was trying to set up for it, but didn't see where Psycho was coming in from, and as a result, that scores the first for Final Art. A perfect start within 2 seconds. That's exactly what we needed to see.
And it was definitely delivered well. Great passing plays there. These 2 lads, they're more of a 3v3 players, Jay. But Psycho and Saku definitely trying their hand at 2v2 tonight, and that is more how you enter a match.
Imagine trying to set things up and actually set it up for his teammate Exetum. Finds a small gap just towards the right-hand side of the post, scoring the first and equalizing against the Final Art side.
Yeah, Imagine using the wall there so well to pinch it across. You've got to be really careful, because if you hit it with your wheels, the underside of your car, you actually just kill the ball there. So he flips it on over and makes sure they hit with the bumper, with the bonnet of his car, so that he gets the speed to put it across the goal, out of reach of the Final Art lads, straight on over to his teammate Exetum, who puts it away.
1-1 in the early game, so any opportunity that Final Art had to take a nice advantage above their opponents is suddenly dissipated. Whoops will be keeping this one in control, and a lot more pressure being applied by these guys in the early part of this game as opposed to game 1, where it was a lot of pressure being applied by Final Art, but that pressure may be amounting to something here. Sakaku with a great chance. Exetum denies it. But Psycho will still be there to feed it right back into the center. Redirection coming on through, challenge 50-50, so Exetum will be able to hold it off for a couple of seconds. Pressure still being mounted and shots are still being taken. This is the same Final Art that we saw towards the end of that first game, and the law of averages, you throw enough goals at a net and eventually one will go in. So just got to find that one and they'll be back in the lead. It's still equalized. Still lots of time left on the clock as well.
Yeah, Final Art here, you can see they picked up the speed a little bit, but you've got to be careful. Exetum is fantastic with those 50-50s, those blocks. Look at that in the air, going straight up. It gets under his control.
Oh, what?
Oh boy, just proving my point on the spot.
Just quiet. Let's. Oof. Oh, you just can't get better than that. Exetum, you beautiful lad. That is a 2-1 immediately to the hands of Whoops. Just as you thought Final Art may have had a good opportunity, Exetum does that. A really, really mechanically skilled player. I'm not 100% familiar with what he's done in the past, but that's definitely impressed me tonight. Psycho will try and get aggressive for it, taking out Imagine. Can't quite follow it up though. Final Art unable to gain control of this one. Exetum will take now Psycho as well. Unfortunately, that's popped right back into the blue side pitch corner. Sakaku will try and take advantage of it, but fortunately, it just stalls for enough time for Psycho to get back into contention. Runs out of boost, so no setup can come out here from Final Art. We'll still apply pressure in towards this corner, so Sakaku and Psycho will still keep up the fight against Imagine and Exetum. 50-50 chance, but Exetum will eventually gain control. Psycho should have no problems defending this, but Imagine's keeping control, and he's keeping Final Art thrown for a loop.
Yeah, you can see that from Imagine there, where he just moves the ball into space. He's not really worrying and prioritizing the goals. He's prioritizing the win, the lead. He's playing the numbers. If he knows he's not going to be able to get a good attempt on net, he's just going to keep control of the ball. It's really smart from the lad.
And once again, that is kind of the difference between a player in the top 100 and a player that's been at the lands right now. Exeter also with fantastic ball control of his own, trying to put that ball in the back. He can't quite find it. Once again, Final Art will look for some amount of control as they try and feed it back in towards that danger box. Unable to be found by Psycho, as Imagine now feeds it off into Exeter, who has to actually rotate very, very quickly and gets a redirection away from Sakaku's control. If he didn't get that shot, then that would have been a very nice goal that probably would have gone to the favor of Final Art. So far not to be, with the pressure being applied. And oh, wow, that was great from Exeter. The hat-trick score with a demo as well. Shooting the ball before you even had an opening. That's like, again, a 300 IQ player right here.
Yeah, Exeter just coming in there like a wrecking ball, just near enough, taking out everything in his path, pops the ball up, and then straight after follows through, demos the player, and then just the slow bounce on in. That is the type of goal that really affects the mentality of the losing side, as Final Art now have to turn everything around with 1 minute 30 left.
And morale crushed right now for Final Art, but they are still holding a bit of confidence at the very least. Trying to set something up once again towards this corner, but allowing Exeter the perfect amount of control. And now Imagine we'll just start to dribble it in. Sakaku just barely gets it out of contention. And Exeter not in position to recover it. So that could have been a very easy fourth goal for Whoops, but they didn't quite find it in the end. So a little bit of life being shown by Final Art, still enabling them to have a bit more of a bite here into this match, but a minute will still be left to go. They still have 2 goals to make up, with demos coming in from Imagine. Psycho and Sakaku won't be too happy about that. Exeter once again with control. Gets it past, trying to get it out towards that orange side of the pitch. But Psycho there with a redirection actually sets it up for Imagine, but not quite in the same way that Imagine would have wanted it to be.
Yeah, again, I'm just going to point out, the lads of Imagine and Exeter on the Whoop side, they're not really worrying about the goal. Look, they're just running the ball up and down the pitch, making sure there's no threats. They're going for the demos as well in between, and they're just quite happy to do it. Imagine here, though, we'll put the shot on, and that's going to be put in the net. Just overextension from the defense, and Final Art, they've got to do it. They've got to really go all out here, Jen. It's hurting.
Indeed it is. 4-1 now, 25 seconds. That could well be the last nail in the coffin for Final Art here in this tournament. Whoops with a 3-goal lead. The Final Art will be saying whoops, as they may have just screwed this whole match up in this series. 2-0 looks to be the ending of the ending scoreline of the series at this point in time. From this point, it's just anything but bragging rights, an extra sort of no, a silver lining at the very least to this result for the Final Art side, but this one is definitely over. It will be Whoops moving forward 2-0 to the grand finals, not the semi-finals. But you know, decent showing from Final Art. A lot of impressive stuff coming out in that first quarter-final game. But unfortunately, couldn't match the sheer star power of the Whoops, the Whoops semi-finalists.
Yep, it's unfortunate that Final Art will have to go out here in the semi, but Whoops, they'll be going on through to the final, definitely deserving of it. Final Art, if you lads are listening on in, we saw the good sort of basis. Your problem there was you were playing into Whoop's hands there towards the end. When you've got a team that just wants to keep possession, whenever you pick up the ball, slow it down. Make sure that your opponents are going to have to make mistakes. They've got to jump out at you. Because if you keep playing their game, they're just going to keep control, essentially. But without further ado, Jay, I think we should stop commenting on that, because we do have the other semi-finals waiting for us. I'm going to be getting on into that after the break. But guys, as we head on in, remember to go hit up Matcherino. That is !Matcherino in chat. If you like what you see, make sure to drop a follow, as it helps show your support. And of course, head on over the Discord, !Discord in chat, where you can get all the information on events like this. We run the 2v2s every Thursdays from 6 p.m. GMT, and tomorrow night, every Friday night from 6:30 p.m. GMT, we run our 3v3 weeklies, which have a guaranteed $45 in the prize pool each and every week. But from myself and Jay, we shall see you after this short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second semi-final of tonight's Rewind Gaming Showdown. I'm Digital Bacon, and once again joined by Jay. And Jay, we just had a fantastic semi, and now we've got a second one coming up, buddy.
It was a very, very good match between two extremely talented teams. We saw the best of Final Art and taking on probably the best of the tournament. Whoops have quite an amount of talent in that server, but can they match up to this one? And we've got UMUM versus Nevermind. I'll admit, Bacon, not 100% familiar with most of these players. I am familiar with Memphis, though. I remember seeing him in a couple of the old weeklies that we used to do together. So why don't you go ahead and break this one down? Let me know what we should be looking out for from these guys.
Yeah, what we're going to be looking at is Ervil, who's now currently going by Robin VL. He is a fantastic player. Definitely look for him to be trying to contend for that RLRS spot, Jay. So we've got already an inkling of a challenger from Holland, of course, as well. He's a fantastic player. He's joined by Rylu98, who, once again, fantastic German lad who just can sometimes dominate, and then others, even though, you know, you'd say he's having an off day, it'd still be better than me by miles, you know, buddy? So it's like one of those cases of, I'm hoping we see him at his best, because when he is playing top notch, he is fantastic to watch. Well, I'm going to just say as well, quickly going on to Nevermind's side, because we don't keep these players waiting. We've got JNS and Memphis. That's going to be First and Memphis on your screens. These lads don't really know JNS or First, but like you said, Memphis is one to look out for, isn't he?
Yeah, again, being one of those players that I've known, or I've at least been aware of for a very long time. Also German, so we got the decent representation of the German Rocket League scene in the server at the moment. So yeah, he's going to be my personal pick for one to watch when you're keeping an eye on this particular game, because I know he's done some pretty reputable stuff. I know he's been around those bubble teams and in that bubble team scene. So keeping your eyes on him may be a decent shout to really get a gauge for what Nevermind really have to bring to the table. JNS, I can't really say the same. I'm not 100% familiar with what he's done in the past, but I mean, clearly if Memphis can trust him on his team, then maybe we might be looking at a little something to go right here. So we're ready to get into our matchup. The players are joining me. We've got UMUM in the blue, and Nevermind over in the orange. So it looks like kickoff is about ready to go, or not. Looks like the servo has been set to US East, apparently. So someone's made a mistake, and we'll get that sorted very, very quickly.
Yeah, we're just going to quickly keep on going, because that will be a quick fix. Essentially, Jay, what that is, Sweden, you need to leave the match, sorry. It's a bug at the moment going on with Rocket League. Everyone knows that it's unfortunate that it happens, but you know, where you click Europe and it switches and puts on US East, it is it's painful sometimes, buddy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I hate that bug, especially when you're like, you know, especially when you're like in this tournament scenario where it's like, if no one notices that issue, if someone's just like, hold on, I've got unusually high ping, and you don't realize that that the server is set to US East, and it's just like, well, that just invalidates the whole tournament, isn't it? So yeah, well, a bug that may get fixed sooner or later. I imagine it should be soon, soon sorted. But
well, they've
now,
got the update coming out next week, buddy. So that will be one of the high priorities. It's like the big update. They've kept us waiting for near enough like 2 months, haven't they? And then they're just going to slam on the new season next week, as well as a big update to fix bugs like that. So I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah, well, for now, it's a very simple and easy fix to get started. It's UMUM over in the blue, Nevermind in the orange. So just as quickly as we ended, we will kick things off once again. Rylo out towards the backboard touch, trying to put that one in early, as will be his teammate, but can't quite find it together. As the UMUM side are just, well, in general, looking for anything they can find at the moment. Just pressure being applied early on in the game, trying to get that early goal. Rylo in particular has a good feed out towards the center, doesn't quite get it into the net as he would have wanted it to, but the redirection could be good. No, too far wide to the left field. So as a result, the early goal will not be scored by them. Instead, it will be scored by the Nevermind side.
Yeah, first they're just coming straight off of the mistake made by Rylu. He can pop that up. Robin trying to get to it, but Ervil, he just can't get the speed. So that's going over him, and that's 1-0 to Nevermind.
Very early on in that counter-attack, and the UMUM side didn't quite get the same sort of setup that they were looking for. As a result, that does mean that, well, they have a couple of problems going in towards the next minute of the matchup. The first one has ticked by, and that means that the first early has been scored. However, Rylu will want to try and right back 1-1. finding a redirection on the challenge and getting that second goal right in the back of the net.
Yeah, Rylu making up, redeeming himself of earlier, but what a fantastic pass from Robin there. Straight up high off that backboard, knocking down. Just your classic twos play, and you can see why it's just so effective.
Straight in, 2 early goals in the opening minute of the matchup, just negating that lead very quickly on the side of Nevermind. So UMAM do have another chance back in this one. They are keeping their pressure applied, trying to set up a defensive, and actually Robin almost found it right there. Rylu also with backup control, gets it past one and the second, but again, not on target, too far to the left field, means that the rotation from Nevermind is more than fine to keep them back in contention for this one and ensure that second goal does not get scored by UMAM, but they will still apply pressure. Finally, first let's get it back in towards the blue side of the pitch, but Robin is right back again on towards the backboard. Second touch could just do it, and indeed it does. Off the crossbar, goes into the back, 2-1 in the favour of UMAM.
Yeah, this goes all down to the speed of Robin there, screeching on past the defenders, and then that bump between First and Memphis, just throwing them off. Robin comes through with the mop, cleans up that spill. Well, he's going to be happy because UMAM are now 2-1 up.
Oh, no. Oh. I was going to say for a second that would have been a very good shot from Memphis, but not quite on the same sort of angle we would have wanted to find it. But this could be a very good shot from Robin, though, and indeed it is. Sacrificing his life for the cause, but it works out to their favour as UMAM score their third. And well, after that, you could just see it. First didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah, First there was actually on a poor rotation going on into the middle of the net. If it's anything you need to know about defending, it is work from that back post. Because if you work from the centre, you're just going to be that little bit overextended into it. First there showing it, but Memphis nearly being able to redeem. There comes First. 50-50 going in his favour, Jay.
And nicely challenged against as well. 3-2 now. As the pressure just got applied and UMAM couldn't really get their whole defensive together. That was the end result of it. A second goal not being saved there by Rylu. So now we're back within 1 goal of the UMAM lead as kickoff comes to the favour of First. Trying to get that early control one. Yeah, eventually Memphis will follow it up off towards the backboard. It will be defended by Robin, who will ensure that it gets it right back out of the way. And denying Nevermind this ball control means that he could set up a good shot of his own, trying to get it past Memphis, but unable to land it in this case. Ryder will be there to support him with us. Challenge for the first and the second. Nicely past First, and gets the air dribble in for 4-2 to the favour of UMAM.
I love this game so far, Jay. It's definitely a showcase of it's not about the most powerful hits, it's about the clever plays. They're rather getting the ball popped up in the air, seeing where First is going, making him go up to contest it, and then works around the defender. Just real smart plays from both sides. But unfortunately, it's looking like UMAM, they're a little bit smarter.
Yeah, and it's starting to come up and catch up with First and Memphis. 2 goals to find still. They've got half a match to do so there is still an opportunity left. So far, the pressure being applied from UMAM is really starting to catch up with Nevermind. You can see it just kind of in general of how they've played this game so far. Just they keep this one right up in the danger box to ensure that no one there from Nevermind can really get it out. When they do get it out, then we should be seeing a chance 50-50 that should get it past. Eventually First will amount to a shot, but it doesn't amount to a goal. 50-50 challenge means that the save is true. Vice versa for Robin, who clears it. First will actually redirect it back in, but once again, Rylu is there to redirect it back out to Robin, who tries to put it in with a slow shot towards the net, but rotations are more than fine from Nevermind for the moment. So that means that they are able to defend. No trouble, no bother, but they can't defend that as Robin gets the 5th for UMAM.
Oh, Robin here. Earlier on, he was pushing that ball away actually to create space, Jay, for them to be able to form up. And then it works so well to be able to get onto that hit. He puts it towards the back ball, wrap on around, and then he gets that shot into goal. Robin is loving life at the moment as he's just given the full runner of the field.
Touch. First touch coming out Memphis. Trying to gain some sort of control here. Lots of work for Nevermind to build up right now. They have got the pressure applied to them, both literally and figuratively here in this matchup. So 1 minute 40, still left to go. Robin, backboard redirection. Second touch isn't going to come through from Rylu. Nevermind actually managed to get past Memphis. No, it's not enough in this case, and that's going to be a 6th on the board for UMAM.
Yeah, look at that. Robin trying to hunt down Memphis. Memphis not being able to get into position fast enough. And where he's actually moving into the net, he can't slow down the ball. So instead of it bouncing off, it's almost like, you know, in football, if you try and feather the ball down so you get control of it, It's essentially that same sort of action where it just kills it there. Unfortunately, it's still moving towards the goal, into that net. We're sitting at a very favourable lead to UMum.
4 goals for Nevermind to make up. They've got a little over a minute to do so, so they need to find something miraculous out of the hat, and that might be the start of it. Memphis able to catch up a small overextension from UMum, and as a result, with first initial challenge and both players trying to go for the aggression, that does score the third here for Nevermind.
Ooh, the third. 3 more still needed from Nevermind. It has not been unheard of, Jay, so it could happen, but it'll show the nerve and the grit of Nevermind if they can do it.
Memphis will be trying to show his nerve and grit right here with individual ball control. He'll eventually get challenged by Robin, so it doesn't allow that shot to come out to anything. And Robin's got great ball control of his own, got it past the first, and Memphis rotates in time. First is unable to find that one. In this case, the redirection will come out eventually with a challenge coming in from Roylu. Fantastic pass right in the danger box. 7 on the board for you, Mum.
Yeah, Rylu seeing the opportunity. The double commit from the defenders, that is what you need to point out there as well. The defenders just letting it happen. They're their own worst enemy here, as you do not need to send 2 players on forward for that attempt on the wall. And it is costing them dearly. 7-3 now in favour of UMum, and it looks like it might just extend past that, but no. First keeps it out.
Just about with a bicycle hit, keeping it in the control here. And Demo's coming out, no one's on the pitch. Eventually Royler does come back in time, but it's a very scary second there if you are UMum. But very good touch coming in from first. Eventually, no, it goes off the post. Not like this. Oh, God. UMum. Oh no. They're going to be very disappointed in that camp right now.
You don't normally see on the high end. You see it more down the lower ranks. But it happens everywhere. Those quick little pinches, those quick little rebounds, where the ball just goes the whole length of the pitch. You've got to be careful. 2v2s, you don't have that third man back. So you're susceptible to goals like that.
10 seconds, I think we spelt the end of this particular game here. UMum advancing 8-3 to game 2 with an advantage. One last shot out. Try to see if they can hold it off, but really is going to say absolutely no. So yeah, 1-0, a very dominating game from UMum. Didn't look quite as dominating at the start, but just as that game went on, they just absolutely took control of this one, and Nevermind didn't really look like they were having a mind at all here in this first game.
Yep, I said it. Watch out for the UMum side. They are players that are going to be looking to try and really gun for a spot in that RLRS. The qualifiers coming up in a few weeks. And Jay, I just want to point out that was a good showing of their ability, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, especially as you say, with the significance of the new season getting kicked up very, very soon, it's just a very good opportunity to prove yourself in this regard. And you know, while I'm not familiar with Roylu or Robin, imagine to take on a player like Memphis in that kind of a regard is a very, very good, you know, achievement to your name. It's only one game, sure, but if they can connect, if they can convert it to a second and take this series over, then that proves a lot of talent is resting in these 2 players as individuals. We'll have to see how that translates over to threes. But for now, you know, it's a very, very big positive, and one thing that will get them started here in this particular series, in this tournament, to really get their morale boost together. So here we go, game 2 getting started. It will be the early touch coming through, but Memphis will try and gain control in here and try to feed it right into a good setup for first. First isn't taking control of it though. He's just going to opt to back off and try to get some ball control above going for the shot, and as a result, Roylu will take control alongside Robin to keep it back away, allowing none of these shots that are coming out from Nevermind to come through at all. Instead, it goes right back into the orange side of the pitch, almost into the net, but first is there for a defense.
Yeah, it's these wasted opportunities from Nevermind that will cost them. They could be 1-0 up right now and sitting happy there, but no, they've just got to communicate that little bit better.
No early goals to be scored. Some opportunities have been opened up though. The defense has been relatively solid for the most part, but indeed, Nevermind playing around UMum in the best opportunity that they can. Backboard touch. Roylu once again with control to fit it right back into the orange net. And we'll try and follow it up. No redirection to come in from Robin. Not quite set it up in the way that they would have wanted it to be. And as a result, has to rotate back into the defensive that Memphis is about to challenge up against. Double commitment to the pinch, and that leaves it wide open for first. Perfectly done by Nevermind. UMum, a little bit of a miscommunication, and that does cost them in the early game.
Yep, first goal coming out in favour of Nevermind here. And you pointed out correctly, Jay. It's that double commit going up for the ball, meaning that there's no player back in net. And that's an easy goal for first, and he's going to be happy for it.
Oh, but the redirection. Okay, silence. Watch this one more time. This was lovely. Oh, just so good. So good there from Robin.
We've seen so many kickoff goals today, and that's just another one to add to near enough the little scrapbook that we're forming up here. Fantastically done. And once again, it's just the proof that this is why you love twos, is you get a nice little sprinkling of a difference than what you get with 3v3s.
Yeah, a lot of individual prowess needs to be found in this kind of a game mode. So let's see if they can challenge up for it. And Roilu is trying to prove his point by evening up against Robin. That's 1 goal per player on this team and 2 goals overall for you, Mum.
Yeah, Roilu brilliantly done there, getting the 50-50 initially, putting it into an awkward situation for the defender and follows through underneath, gets the little hit to pop up and over, and that is how you suddenly turn a game around with 2 quick fire goals.
Control sitting to the favourite view, Mum, as well, as they try to set things up appropriately against Nevermind. Good ball control coming in from Memphis. Is eventually challenged by Roilu, so no chance there. First, we'll still try and get the redirection, but Roilu's still here with a challenge to keep things out of the hands of Nevermind. Eventually, Memphis is forced to rotate back into the orange half of the net, but it's not far enough. Oh, good shot from Robin, but it's too far to the left field, so no chance once again comes out. His first looks for his own ball control, looks to try and feed it out in towards that corner. It doesn't quite happen in the way that he would have wanted it to, so Robin is allowed some sort of control, getting it out towards Roilu, trying to get that shot on shot, but again, too far out towards the corner, so 2 minutes 30 will be left, halfway point of the game, and Newman are still in the lead here.
Roilu not getting the hit he needed, so that hands on over, the accuracy is off, but first is there to follow up. This, it's just such a dire moment for Roilu, just doesn't get the flip right.
Not quite there in time in this case. Rotation a little bit too slow there from you, Mum, but again, they couldn't have expected such a fast counter-attack from Nevermind. So back to 2-2. In this particular case, Yuma will already try and strike back. The redirection for Robin is good, but not good enough. Outfeit Memphis at least, so first is just left to try and pick up the pieces and pick up the slack on the defensive. Memphis does get back in time, but Robin comes straight out of nowhere like Randy Orton to bring 3-2 to the favour of you, Mum.
That's how you keep it up. Great passing play off the backboard. Saying earlier how vital they are in 2v2s. Over to the teammate and down into net. It really works the defenders. And when you've got that time to go up into the air, you can also pick and choose where you want to place that ball and work around the defense.
2 minutes left to go on the clock. Umum have regained their lead. Nevermind still have only 1 goal to make up, so just that one to equalise and then another to gain the momentum back to their favour. I have faith in Memphis, so I imagine that he could possibly do this. Although it's starting to get very, very dangerous for his side. This one's open and almost gets found by Robin, but first just about gets there in time. Trying to feed it right back into the aggression that's coming through here from the blue side of the pitch, and Robin with a nice redirection. Eventually Memphis is there, so we will just wrap up the defensive and keep things back to their control, trying to get a redirection right into the goal, but Robin is not there in time. I thought his rotation was good, but not quite good enough as we're back to evens with the hands of Nevermind.
Yeah, Robin here just so close to the ball. The problem is, Jay, they went for a side flip and not a front flip, so in fact, the ball just passed him. He moved just out of it, and it's those situations which just feel so bad, man. When he was a whisper away from the ball, and if you had just made a different decision, you would have got it. He's going to be kicking himself, but that just means he's got to get a goal to redeem it all and get his team back into the lead.
Still 60 seconds left to go on the clock, a little bit over that, in fact. So the next goal could very well be the last. Really, these guys need to fill in their gaps and allow no opportunities for either side to score, else it could be the end of it. This could be the opportunity for Royal. Memphis just about gets there to the crossbar. This allows a second touch to come through from you. Robin will still be there trying to gain some sort of control on the sidewall, but it won't amount to anything just yet. Memphis is forced back. Good shot coming in from Royal, too high. Goes across the crossbar instead, and that's a quick redirection coming in from the U-Mum side. Memphis also with a double touch potential, can't quite find it because Robin is solid as hell. And he will ensure that nothing will come out here for Nevermind, but the redirection from First is so good of his own accord. Roylu is just so on point, ensuring nothing comes through for Nevermind as they gain ball control. U-Mum feed it amongst each other. They try and go for a shot. Memphis should be here to defend it, and they should have no problems doing so. Robin will still get a redirection, keeping it to their control, but Royal is in no position to try and take control of it. 10 seconds will be left as U-Mum set up one final attack to try and beat the buzzer here, to try and take this second game away from them, and by extension, this series from Nevermind. Final second ticks by, it does touch the floor. We go to overtime.
Was just on the camera for Memphis there at the end. Super deep in defense. He wants this overtime, but he's got to be careful.
Oh, no!
He rolled the dice on that one, Jane. Came up snake eyes. Look at that. He wanted the defense by playing that. He wanted the overtime by just playing defense, not going the attack. And then the kickoff went in favor to U-Mum. They're going to be taking game 2. And it was just so close up until that last point.
Yeah, the first game was not quite the way we would have wanted to see Nevermind come through, but eventually they were able to find their form in that second game. But you know, as Memphis says, the end is so sad. And well, really, that's all you can say about it for this case. And Nevermind, they will be dropping out in the semis. U-Mum will be going to the finals to face up against Whoops. So don't go anywhere, because after this very, very short break, Rewind Gaming will be coming back with our best of 5 grand finals in the 2v2 weekly. Be back after this.
Welcome back, guys, to the finals of tonight's Rewind Gaming 2v2 Showdown. Of course, I'm Digital Bacon, joined once again in the grand finals by Switchblade Jay. How are you doing, Jay? How excited are you for this?
I mean, this is pretty hype finals, to be honest. I mean, we've got some pretty reputable names in the server at the moment. Obviously, Imagine is the man that I would honestly pin to win the whole thing, to be honest. He's part of Whoops and Umum, have the likes of, well, we've already seen them just perform right now, so we know exactly how they're doing at the moment. Looks like we've got a small lobby issue, so we might have to play a little bit longer in this case. But yeah, we've seen the performance of both sides, and to be honest, for me, what it comes down to really break these two teams apart is, to be honest, my my main bias is towards Imagine. We've already seen how well he can do. He's already performed at LAN. Didn't get a deep run at the LAN, but he's still a very reputable player of his own accord. So just seeing him kind of come up in this particular tournament, I imagine that it's going to be him and Exitum to really bring things to fruition at this point. I feel like they're probably going to be the ones to win this one. So that's where I'm going to put my prediction, to be honest. I think it'll be close. Umum took down their opponents a little bit earlier on with another reputable name in this tournament, so I imagine that they'll have at least a little bit of a fight. So I'm going to say maybe 3-1 will be the scoreline for me.
3-1. I'm thinking the same as you. I think it's going to be dead close and about that sort of margin. And I think it is going to go in favor of Whoops here, Jay. I think it's going to definitely go towards them. I think Imagine and Exum just that little bit stronger, but who knows? I think the games are going to be pretty close as well. Guys at home, remember as well, tonight's tournament is entirely funded by you guys there watching at home. So if you're feeling generous and want to donate towards the prize pool for these players, for the performance they're putting on for you, head on over the Matcherino. Link is in chat right now. And of course, we do tomorrow night as well, where we will be doing the 3v3 weekly. Jay, we're talking about it earlier about how RLRS qualifications are so close. They're just around the corner. So if you want to get some practice on in, what better way than actually joining into some tournaments? And you got the 3v3 Rewind weekly coming up tomorrow. It's free to sign up, have a shot at that $45, and of course you'll be going up against players that are in the same sort of boat where they're wanting to win and improve.
Yeah, obviously all eyes will be on these weekly tournaments. All eyes will be on these community cups to see who will be the odds-on favourites going into that RLRS qualification. So be sure to go ahead and sign up for that if you are so interested. You can also actually crowdfund the Matcherino for the 3v3 for basically free. We've got $1 codes going on throughout that particular night. So if you want to support players even more, you want to support the tournament, you can do it for absolutely free by tuning into that tournament and watching out for the codes that will appear on screen throughout the chat throughout the night. So that's great. Of course, exclamation mark Matcherino's all there, so we've got all the information available to you, of course. And as well as that, if you want to support us in other ways, you can do so, not only just through Matcherino, but if you want to pledge your support directly, we've got our own Patreon, so it's exclamation mark Patreon, and there's a donation link just below the stream page. So without further ado, enough shilling, enough trying to sell out, let's get straight into the matchup right here. Whoops in the blue, Umum in the orange. Let's kick off for the grand final. And game one of the grand finals begins with a bit of a muscle tussle from both sides, trying to get that early shot, trying to get the opening advantage so far, but it looks like it might just sit to the favor of Umum. Not quite, as the ball is disrupted and Whoops take control.
Yep, it's been an explosive start here. Both teams really hammering on. They're not just going to do the whole poking at each other play, what a lot of people call ping pong. No, they're going straight for the goal. They're going straight for the throat, Jay. They want blood, they want goals, and they definitely want those explosions afterwards.
Having with great ball control, challenging for that first. Still yet to see a goal getting scored in the first minute of the game. Exitum will try and find it in this case. Imagine also there to receive, with a 50-50 being won out by Umum, but it doesn't amount to a shot, doesn't quite amount to a goal. Exitum right back into the orange side of the pitch. Roylu in the corner. Imagine a great redirection. No one's there to defend it. It hits the post, but sadly, it rebounds right back into the pitch and not the direction that Whoops should have wanted it to go. So they have to set themselves up once again for ball control, set themselves once again up for redirections and try and feed something into this UMUM side of the goal, but it just won't happen. And finally, the rotations will start to catch up with them. And UMUM setting up a counter attack that was almost the first being scored.
Yeah, you saying the rotations catching up with them, but their sheer speed is really holding on strong. Both sides going at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I mean, it's crazy. If any of them were in DeLorean, they've been off this pitch and back in time, Jay.
Indeed, they would have been, man. Very fast, aggressive play coming in from both sides, and they're kind of matching each other very, very well so far. Every setup has been defended, every 50-50 challenged, and every chance has either been fluffed or otherwise accounted for by both sides. So as a result, we tick by 2 minutes, and there are no goals to be scored so far. Robin out towards Roylu. Roylu trying to gain something above the likes of Imagine, but it won't come through, not just yet here. Exeter now out towards Imagine with a redirection. Once again, not quite centered up in the way they would have wanted it to be, but eventually they actually bait out the defensive, and they get the first goal, finally scored by the Whoops side.
I love how you say not the way he wanted it to be. No, this was some foresight. Imagine putting it off to the wall, to the side, pulling out that defender, and then Exeter just follows up nice and calmly, puts the ball away, just coming up to the halfway mark, and we have finally got a goal. Whoops taking the lead, and well, it wasn't by accident. That was sheer tactical play.
Sometimes hindsight is 20/20 in this case, and I definitely did not see that play coming until it was all played out. So well played to Whoops now. Imagine the Exeter in a great position, a great chance so far, but they double commit to this defensive, so that does leave it open for a couple of seconds, but vice versa for UMUM as they attempt themselves towards that attack. It doesn't mean that their defensive is solid either, so they have themselves locked on, trying to see if they can get some sort of opening against them. Vice versa for UMUM, who do chime back into a nice setup, but it's going to be Imagine with a good feed in towards the center. Exeter trying to get a good shot from the box, but eventually Robin, let's feed it right back out towards the corner, denying them any chance here. So a good smart play from Whoops, being a little bit attentive to really what they have in play right here, but maybe that demo could be enough. Not quite. Imagine goes down, but Exeter can hold off on its own.
Yeah, throwing in demos at this speed that the game is being played at, fantastic to do, as you're going to be playing so wide, so you're not following up for those little bits.
Oh no.
Hit the little pop, and Robin can't get there.
Imagine, wow, feeding it away. And it was a very risky play there from both players of the UMUM side. You saw exactly what they were going for. They were going for that, Robin feeds it up, and Roylu goes for that little bit of a fake, trying to get that redirection. But in the end, actually, Whoops kind of read it, so they defended it appropriately. And then it was just an easy goal coming in from the likes of Imagine. So nice there. And that's 2-0 from Whoops now for UMUM in a bit of an awkward spot. Trying to gain some sort of control here towards this blue corner. Roylu in particular feeding it out to Robin, but it doesn't amount to anything right here as Exeter and Imagine are here locking out this defensive, disallowing any chance for UMUM to score a goal. And they still have 2 to find. They've got only a little bit of time to do it though here.
Yeah, look how much the game slows down when the ball goes into those corners. It's so hard to get a hold of. Oh, and that ball slipped on by. Definitely hard to get a touch on that one, as Roylu just sends an absolute rocket downfield.
And Exeter or Imagine didn't really quite anticipate that. You saw Exeter going a little bit too far to the right field, so he wasn't quite anticipating the speed that ball would have come at, so really the turning circle would not have allowed him anything. Neither for Imagine either, so he sped right past it, and that's just a nice open gap there. And now that's going to be a mistake. I don't think that they'll make the second time. A one-trick pony here in the grand finals, but still 2-1 up. So right now, Whoops don't have a whole lot to worry about. Just got to ensure that UMUM do not get that equalizer. If they do, then they are in the danger box. 40 seconds to make it up. It's plausible. But is it likely? That is the question at the moment. Robin getting shoved out the way. Roylu having control, trying to get this ball on his bonnet, trying to feed it up to get a good pass out. Not going to quite find it. I think he could have got a few more feet, a few more yards out of that, and then maybe he could have gone for a very good shot, but not to be in this case. There's the counter-attack coming right back from Whoops, trying to keep things up against UMUM, trying to see if they can score that third goal. Eventually, Robin does challenge Roylu in the back lines, ensuring this ball does not go by, but a great redirection coming in from Exeter out towards the centre. Can they score this one? Not quite. Both players commit too far, too close to that post, and it hits the post instead. Now 4 seconds will remain. All they have to do is ensure this ball does not go down at this point. They would have won it, and indeed Imagine will just allow it to touch the floor and get the first game.
Whoops. Their name sort of speaks as if it's an accident, but no, that was a brilliant game from them as they take game 1 of the finals. Remember, guys, they're at home. This is not best of 3 anymore. This is a best of 5. So the lads of Whoops aren't on match point. They've got to still keep working their little octane wheels off if they want to win tonight. And well, with how close this game has been, Jay, I'm expecting it. Maybe we were saying about the 3-1. This could definitely be the only series we've seen tonight to go the whole way and all the way to that game 5.
Yeah, it's entirely possible we've had complete sweeps from one side just to be able to take these games relatively easily. I don't think that's going to be the case right here. I still think that UMUM could be able to take this next game, but I think after that, Whoops are going to have a very easy time going forward. 3-1 in the series, as we both predicted earlier on. So let's see if there is anything out of the hat that the UMUM side can find here. Let's kick off for game 2, about to get started once again. It's Whoops in the blue, UMUM in the orange, as they need to find one game to go to match point. Whoops, UMUM finding one to keep things back at evens here in this series as kickoff does go through. Roylu with an early shot set up, but it's Exeter with control. Imagine trying to get this redirect. It is too far to the right field, so it won't amount to a goal, not just yet here for Whoops. They rotate right back in time to ensure that there won't be a counter-attack setup coming in from UMUM, and indeed there will be none, as it goes right back into that orange corner and Roylu fights for control.
Bit interesting here as well. Rylu there was trying to steal some midfield boost. He was trying to get the ball downfield from Robin, and then they would just hold it down there. It's a bit of a ballsy move here. It's what you'd normally expect in 3v3s, but where you only have one player on the ball and then one player back waiting, doesn't really work in 2s. It's an interesting tactic, and if they can somehow force pressure from boost management in 2s, this could be a whole new meta they found.
And they are keeping pressure up so far. 60 seconds so far ticked by. Just touches coming in from either side, and Matt's trying to feed it out to Exeter. I mean, there's a good redirection, but it's not quite the way that they would have wanted it to be. Again, not on angle, and if they had got it on angle, then there would have been no one in a position to save it here from UMUM, because they were anticipating this one. A good shot to come through from Exeter. He snipes it in. I thought UMUM had this. What happened there, guys?
No, Exeter here getting the bop up against the wall and then follows on through, pops it over the overextended defenders who were not expecting that play at all, and rightfully so. I've never seen a setup like that, a solo setup, where you've had the ball bouncing around slowly, and then somehow you get a bit of a hit to push it up the wall. Fantastic stuff by Exeter, who's really shown his class today.
Yeah, such good mechanical skill, and actually good opponent reading from him in general. I mean, he's the other player that got that demo pre-shot earlier on in that first, I think it was the quarterfinal that we played earlier on, where he got that demo. He'd already shot the ball in. He'll find his second as well. Once again, the gap in the fence found. 2-0 for Whoops, as Exeter is just going ham in this grand final.
Yeah, Rylu's got to be careful about pushing the ball to the center. His teammate Robin was not there to receive it, and so it's near enough a handover, a pass to his opponents. Exeter, seeing that, is just going to dive straight onto it, thank his opponent, as Whoops are now 2-0 up.
Still 3 minutes for UMUM to recover the situation, so there is plenty of time. But will they be able to do that is the question. Imagine and Exeter, for that matter, have been so on point with their defensive and ball control, as Imagine will prove right here. This is why he was sponsored. This is why he went to LAN. It's for plays like this, where he faked out both defenders and scored a third for his side.
Jay, it's looking like the lads of Whoops, they've finally got that confidence. They have got it in them to really take it. We were hoping for that game 5, but this is more than makings for a sweep once again. I don't want to sweep, Jay. I want the full 5 games now. We've had sweeps throughout the entire evening. Let's swap it up, you know?
Well, Royler will be able to find at least that he's going to answer your call right there, Bacon. Like, okay, we're not quite dead just yet. They've got a goal. They've got 2 more to find. There's actually plenty of time to do so as well. 2 minutes 39 on the clock. But Imagine an Exeter, I don't believe they'll be letting that one go so sadly into that good night. It's kickoff coming in once again, but very sneaky goal coming out from the likes of Robin.
Yep, definitely making the most of an opportunity. It was bad of Imagine Exton to really leave that goal open, you know, leave an avenue to it. They're doing it again here with that ball off the backboard. Unfortunately, Riley not being able to get the shot. Almost criminal there, Jay.
Yeah, not on point. Double tuck didn't come through. Angle of the shot for the second man wasn't there as well. With no one there to defend it, that looked like it would have been a free goal there for UMUM, but not to be here. As they still stick 3-1 down. Shot and counter attack coming back. Oh, that's very good from Exeter, but doesn't quite land it up. Roylu is there. And he gets the defensive out just in time to deny the fourth from Whoops, and that would have been a very deadly fourth as well. Robin will eventually find it and follow it up for the third. So 3-2, excuse me, to the favour of Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with Exton, and Imagine they've just let off the gas pedal a little bit, and so they're slowing on down. Rilo and Robin seeing that are going to speed on up, and they're catching with the car in front. Imagine here though pulls off a play. Unfortunately, just a little wide.
Exeter has ball control. Doesn't get it past both though, only the first. Robin is there for a save, and Imagine will have his control. Trying to keep this pressure up once again, put this ball in that corner, and Exeter will be there to follow it up as well, trying to make sure that the pressure is continually applied, and Imagine will go for a zero-angle goal. An unlikely shot to make, but he makes it either way. That's 4-2, back to a two-goal game to the favour of Whoops.
Yeah, Imagine they're using that corner so well to bounce the ball around. And you were saying it's a zero-angle goal. No, he had an angle there, Jay. That's how he got it. And it was so well calculated and worked from him to really get that point ahead.
1 minute 20 still left. There's time to recover this. UMUM just need to find their way back in. So far, it's just very, very simple stuff coming out from the likes of Imagine and Exeter, but they are keeping the pressure on with it. At least when they're not coming up with ridiculous plays like some of that we've seen tonight from the likes of Exeter. It's down to 50-50, gets it out of the control of one, challenges against the second and keeps it out of his control as well. Rory has been given that 60-second warning, and as has Robin, so they've got to ramp things up. They're going to try and get this goal. Good aerial dribble, not quite the same clean ones that we've seen so far tonight. That's a counter-attack being set up by Whoops as a result. Imagine trying to get that double touch in. Exeter here towards the corner, but he can't quite find the shot. Once again, he's left to Robin just to hold down control of the ball. Exeter will come through and sweep things out towards the midline, but unfortunately, it does not amount to a fifth. But 30 seconds are still left. There's 2 goals to make up, and you know, UMUM side are starting to run out of time here.
Yeah, the UMUM side are also running out of boost. They're being really sloppy with it as they're trying to speed things up. That means they don't have a full 100. They've barely even got half a tank. You can see they're really struggling to get into place, struggling to sometimes get the clears they need to make here, Jay.
That last sap attempt from Roy, who could have been the last straw. Robin will try and recover it, but it's just not to be as it goes right back into the orange side of the pitch. They'll defend it for one more, but the timer is up, and game 2 will go to the favour of Whoops as they take control of this one. 2-0, match point and tournament point to their favour. Imagine and Exeter. You know, I was highlighting Imagine earlier on in the game, but Exeter showed up huge in that last game. 7 shots, 3 saves, and 2 of which were goals. Like, he had some ridiculous style of play, completely outstyling the UMUM side.
Yeah, Exeter is just one of those players that will see the tiniest little gap, the tiniest opportunity, and will just make sure that he gets it. The way he's just able to pop a ball over a player with a long shot is fantastic. You've got to be careful of that lad, because if you're going up against him, you can't make a single mistake, Jay, can you?
Absolutely not, and mistakes are even more emphasized in 2s, so you've got to be really careful about this kind of a game style, especially when you're up against the star power of Whoops right now. Exeter and Imagine, they've got a few small issues right here, so let's see if they can pull it right back, and if you do think that they can pull it right back, you can support them in doing so. Once again, that's !Match Arena to support us through Match Arena. You've got the donations below the stream or the Patreon, !Patreon. You can sub as well, we always like that. But yeah, thank you very much for supporting us if you have supported us throughout this broadcast or any other broadcast throughout Rewind. So, here we go. Potentially the last game of the night here. Whoops and UMUM. Whoops in blue, UMUM in orange. kickoff. And if Whoops win this one, then they are going to be taking the first place prize right here. It's already Exeter with a great shot. No! It hits the post, and it ends in disaster as Whoops with a fantastically slow-paced setup. It almost worked. That would have been soul-crushing for the likes of Human, but it doesn't amount to anything, and they're able to set up a counter-attack for it.
Yeah, that's why you can't be cocky. You can't be overconfident. Railu and Robin now, they really need to get a goal, and if they do, that's going to be so devastating for their opponents. There's that mind game of saying, we nearly had it and it's not good enough. Oh, I'm just so excited for this match, Jay.
Already out of the gate, seen some impressive stuff. Let's see if we can see it a little bit more. First minute is about to tick by. Royal's got a good redirection shot off the backboard. Redirection comes in, but no. It's defended by, I believe that was Exeter. Imagine we're the mad to follow it around and try to see if we can set it up. But Robin's also quick on his rotations and ensuring that they do not score that goal. It got very, very close, though. Good demo, and imagine it means that Exeter is forced to back off and relieve that pressure that is so good at applying on the Whoops side. He will try and hold things off. Set up a defensive, does get into the hands of Robin here. Exeter still holding out some sort of presence here in the orange corner.
Yeah, Robin there, just somehow with zero boost, is able to do so much. I was on his cam throughout the whole of that, and I'm there going, dude, why aren't you picking up those small little inside boost pads? But it does not matter. He's got a plan of his own. He somehow just makes it work.
It's working so far in the defensive. The offensive not quite so much here. We're still at 0-0 for both sides. Really Robin setting up on their own defensive. Oh, but eventually Exeter with a great redirection will be able to get the in-play pass and manage to find it out. Slow pacing right here. Imagine trying his best to fake out his opponents. And in this case, Exeter takes full advantage of it as Robin has no idea what's about to hit him. That's 1-0 to the favour of Whoops.
That's the second time in this whole series where we've seen a goal like that. The lads of your mum, you've got to be careful. You don't leave that net entirely open. It's such a risky play. I get what they're trying to do there, Jay. They're trying to bait on in their opponents to make a play like that. The problem is, imagine the Exeter are just so good that they're going to take that bait and they're going to actually walk away with the fish.
Jeez. Again, a redirection that Royler was not expecting at all. Not a good start here. And there's been a long start for these guys. 2 minutes have ticked by. The Newman are at a severe disadvantage. They could be getting swept out of the finals in a similar fashion. They've swept their way all the way to the finals. Exeter already on with a shot. Robin of a quick counter attack now, trying to see if he can feed it into the goal. Does hit the post, but just about defended by two players on a double commitment. And eventually, Imagine gets it out the way as Rory was unable to follow up the efforts of his teammate, unable to follow up the efforts of the Newman side as a whole. Eventually, Roy will rotate back in time to defend against Imagine. He did get a very good shot, but that's just not the way you want to see it go. That could have been the start of the equalising comeback from Newman, but it's just not to be here. As once again, Imagine and Exeter put their skill and mechanical prowess to play as they try and score their third.
Oh, Robin's got it around Exton though. This quick little bumping play is fantastic, and that fake!
Oh no! What?
Robin puts the shot. No! What on earth is going on? Just
what
responses here, Jay?
What just happened there? You can't get much more lucky than this, Exeter. Good God Almighty! I cannot believe what we just witnessed here.
Oh, when you've used all of that brain power, Robin there right at the end suddenly has a bit of a fart and just absolutely whiffs the ball, leaving it in front of the net. It just shows when you're working at 110%, sometimes you can just break the machine. And it feels bad, man.
Feels bad indeed, you mum. Oh, what a morale-breaking set of circumstances, but they are going to find themselves a very nice vertical double play. What is this match?
Look, the peekaboo, Jay. Look at that. Riley pops up, and then suddenly it's Robin behind, using Riley as well to get the jump off, to get a bit more height, to push it on down with the speed. Oh, I haven't seen a peekaboo goal in ages, buddy.
Oh, you mum made it work for once, so they have got their first goal in the game. Finally, what the hell? Oh my God, Robin! This comeback has suddenly just come to life.
Oh, I'm a believer, Jay. Look at that finally, Mum being able to get a good kickoff in this series. We saw how fantastic they were in the semi-finals with the kickoffs. They've finally brought it to life here. These lads, they've got a goal. They've got that morale going in their favor, and let's hope they can run away with it. Let's get the reverse sweep, guys. Give the players your energy in chat. They need it right now.
Exeter's not quite going to allow that just yet, though. He had ball control. Went for that shot to the right hand, pitch to the post. He is back in defensive as well as Imagine and himself try and feed things past. 50-50 challenge by Roylu, keeps it in control, ensures that Whoops do not get this fourth goal, because it could mean lights out for UMUM. They still have to find the goal of their own accord, so pressure is applied, but Robin's got no boost. That's not good. That's crucial information being given away by Imagine. And he can take that fight every single day of the week and try and keep it out of the control of the orange side of the pitch. Imagine now. Demoing one, ball control. Royler's going to try and fake it out, try and get past Exeter, but no, it doesn't quite happen. So Exeter has this ball dribble, and he's been very good when it's in the past. It hits the crossbar, and Imagine gets the redirection. Follow-up, 4-2 now as Whoops deny it from UMUM, and 35 seconds left. They are in deep, deep trouble right now.
Mate, that play there from Exeter to get the block as well, just forcing his opponents to hit the ball and then knowing where it's going to be hit to get the block. Fantastic. It was just denied by that crossbar. But well done by Imagine, come on through. It's just, like we said, the experience of Whoops here just to know what is going on and that sort of foresight to see where the ball's going to go. Fantastic from them. Come down to the last 20 seconds, Jay. This is do or die for UMUM.
Oh, Imagine got a very nice amount of ball control as well, but Robin is able to defend it. They need to score a goal right now, else this is going to be it. That's the shot, and Robin's going to miss it. It looks like game 3 is going well and truly to the favor of Whoops right now. Royal will try his hardest, but there's just not enough time as Whoops take the series and take the tournament 3-0. A dominating start from them, but UMUM just about got that act together to the end. Unfortunately, he was a little bit too late, and as a result, Whoops will be your grand champions for this week's 2v2.
Yeah, it was a perfect win from them. Whoops not even dropping a single game tonight. Oh, no one could defeat them. You guys watching at home, do you think you can? I'm sure they'll come back to try and get the back-to-back wins next week. If you're there at home thinking, you know, are you big enough to take them down? Make sure you sign on up. Make sure you head on over to Discord to get all the details you need. Of course, hitting that follow button as well notifies you when we go live each and every week, every Thursday, roughly about 6:30 when we get on live for the stream, and every Friday, that is tomorrow night, from around about 7 p.m. GMT. with the 3v3 weekly, which is an absolute cracker as well. But that is it, Jay. We've crowned our champions. Whoops, which is Exeter, and Imagine they're going home with the prize pool. It's been a fantastic tournament, hasn't it, buddy? Can we, got any little shout outs there, Jay? You want to plug yourself?
No shout-outs, just shout-outs to the players, really. Just like congratulations to Imagine and Exeter. Very well played, very, very talented pair of players. I'll be seeing you very, very soon indeed, because I feel like they've got a bright future ahead of them. So once again, congratulations to them. Thanks to you guys for watching. And shout-outs to all the guys behind the scenes who've been working, basically, to make all of this possible.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is it for myself and Jay. You can find us here on Twitch and, of course, on Twitter and all of that lovely stuff. But make sure you head on over the Twitter to join the Rewind gaming page. That's Rewind RL. But from everyone here, myself, Jay, and Sweetie behind the cameras, big shout out to him, the silent ninja, always working the scenes. We thank you for watching, and we shall see you tomorrow night for the 3v3 weekly. Toodles.